afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, November 26, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a time for change call tomorrow night, Wednesday, at a little after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to share what's really happening in real time on the planet, not all the rumors and everything. So remember that whatever our conscious mind thinks and believes, the subconscious identically creates, Brian Adams. So, what does that mean for us? Well, it means that you have a storage facility of data. It's interesting. And the subconscious mind is the recorder of everything that your conscious mind comes up with. This is why, and obviously the vast majority aren't even aware of this, but what happens is that this is why we experience things in this life, sometimes more than once. Okay? Now remember, the ego mind, conscious mind, creates. And so when we're thinking about, anything, believing about anything, the subconscious mind records it and at random plays it back. You see why it's so important for us to master our thoughts. Because this is why we have things happen to us more than once that we really wouldn't care have happened to us even once. And we can't figure it out. We think it's some kind of a boogeyman or something that's out there that's gunning for us or something. And in actuality, it's us. It's not. It's because we're not aware of who and what we are, obviously, and we don't know that this is happening lickety-split all the time. So you think and believe, and the subconscious mind creates it. Actually stores it. And the mind creates it, and the subconscious mind stores it. And at random intervals during the course of our lives, it plays it back. So if we're susceptible, to believe in that, and here it is again, and then the same worries and the same stress and the same fears come in, and there it is again. And we wade through it, it disappears, and we have some other things, and this is how it works. We with the ego mind, create, and the subconscious mind records. Pretty interesting, isn't it? So if we aren't aware of our thoughts, then this randomization of events that we ourselves created, which most don't realize that we do, they will repeat themselves. And there's no warning or uniformed consistency. It just comes in. And then we experience it. So how do you, knowing that is very empowering. There is a way of living our lives that is so conscious, so purely intentional and alive that you are guaranteed to manifest the life you desire. And that's what everybody wants on this planet, isn't it? They have a certain depiction of a life that they want to live. I think the majority of people on this planet, that's what, at times, they think about it, but they don't believe it, say. Now, when you understand and practice the basic universal principles of manifesting, creating, the first is that your thoughts create your reality. In every moment. And that you are pure consciousness behind each thought. Now, you may choose or not choose to entertain. So you get a thought, right? Now, a lot of people will they'll grab the thought because they think it's theirs. And they'll create it into their reality. Now, you look at a thought and you say to yourself, not interested in that thought. Not interested at all. I'm just going to let it pass through. See, that's the big difference for us. So see, this revolutionary empowering consciousness is already here. It's not something that you dig up or go find. So when we stop all efforting, scheming, and trying to find it or create it, we instantly see the simple fact that it is here right now. And it really is simple. If you want to become richer, more lovable, successful, or even and not the potent, powerful essence of who you are, consciousness instantly reveals itself when we realize that we are not the mind or its desires. The pure state of consciousness is unfolding our version of reality for us to enjoy. And as we decide to perceive it in each moment all around us, it loves you that much. So you surrender to it and investigate this pure consciousness that's here now, and how there is nothing, absolutely nothing you can do to change it. One might ask, well then why in the heck is it that in so many cases, what's the reason life can be so challenging? Right? It is because of one main obstacle. All of us, get over-identified with the mind and certain thoughts that it becomes attached to or avoids. For instance, your mind gets attached to something. I mean, it really gets attached. You don't really, you're not identifying that attachment. You're just saying to yourself, well, I really want this. And that's period. I want this. And you have this deep-seated feeling. And the mind has created this attachment that you must have it. And then what happens is that you don't get it. And you're pretty much emotionally devastated. Now, consciousness instantly reveals itself when you realize that you are not this mind or its desires. Now, that's a toughie for a lot of people, that, they're not this mind of theirs, they're not, or its desires. The pure state of consciousness is unfolding your version of reality for you to enjoy. And you decide to perceive it in each moment all around you. Now, when we get over-identified with the mind and certain thoughts that it becomes attached to, it's becoming attached to, not you, okay? Not the real you. Or avoids. It can get hooked like Velcro to certain roles, ideas, feelings, memories, and experiences that make you feel trapped. It's like a spider caught in its own web. More struggles, more wrapped up and stuck it gets. Now, the only way out of this mind trap is to surrender to the source of who you are. You're surrendering to the God of who you are, the pure consciousness. You're letting it go. Now, sometimes you'll let it go, but it's the ego mind tricking you. You really didn't let it go. That's why you still feel its essence. So it's imperative that you do it through the heart mind. Through the heart mind is the only way you're going to master the ego mind. One of the greatest secrets to untangling yourself and spinning a new web around you is in exploring the truth of what and who you really are. How many of us, right in this now moment, are unfolding our discovery of who and what we are? Now, when we practice using the mind to free the mind from all thoughts it's been wrapped up in and attached to, you get more mental activity. Instead of playing the game of the mind, you begin to dismantle it. Let the mind weave the web it wants to weave. Yet choose to focus on the light and consciousness within. See, the mind's over here doing this, right? And you're not paying any attention to it. You're not engaging it. It's over there, though. It's doing its thing like it always does. And you're just going to let it do its thing. Yet you choose to focus over here on the light and consciousness within. Now, at first, I wouldn't say it's a cakewalk. Again, because we have these habits that are deep-seated. But eventually, you can overcome it, master it. This is the most enlightening and empowering place to be. And it will greatly increase your manifesting vibration. Whatever it is you are focused on or wanting, you will become a super manifesting magnet for what you want. So it's really important to be wise about choosing what you want. The experiences that you'll attract to you can only bring you into a more enlightened perspective when you abide in the knowing that consciousness is natural, effortless, and the essential eternal state of who and what you already are. And it is important for us to be curious about this consciousness. Now, if you think that you know it, let that thought go. It's just a thought, and not actually pure consciousness itself. Drop all ideas about who you truly are and liberate yourself completely. And this consciousness is truly unknowable and cannot be pinned down as something that you understand once and are forever done with it. It is an infinite. It is as infinite as this universe and is here for you to explore throughout your entire lifetime. Your job is to gently unfold it, discover this dynamic divine being that you already are. This consciousness that we talk about so much is the God source, and it is everywhere. The secret to discovering it is in being vulnerable, open, receptive to this moment. Be honest with yourself about what your experience is, and then let that experience go. If resistance is there, become that wall and let it go. Explore every experience that arises until it is finished. Your life will become more rich and juicy and full of aliveness. Consciousness is not cold, hard, or rigid by any means. It contains a sacred warmth that you'll only find in the heart of it. This love is the love of your essence. It is already inside your heart right here and now. So surrender to what is true and real. Now we have a lot of shaking, a lot of things happening, a lot of pushing and pulling and tension and irritability and stress and fear and anxiety, wondering and worrying, all kinds of stuff. Not like we don't experience that in this lifetime, or it's not like we had never have experienced it until now. So we have this stuff going on. And as I've shared right now is that's the ego mind. That's what the ego mind is playing. So you're not, okay, so the mind's over here doing this and you're over here. Focus on the light and the pure consciousness. That's a choice. And we all know that we can be seduced very quickly into that over there that the mind and ego is busy with. But yet we've done it so many times, we kind of know. Some of us kind of know that, let it do its thing. It's just going to do its thing over there. Usually it does it with me. But it's not going to do that anymore. So you choose not to engage the ego mind. You're over here, focus on the light, pure consciousness. You're focused on who and what you really and truly are. It is truly, factually, our way to pure freedom. As a civilization, as a species. It's the only way. Now, we look at the mind, right? It's an illusion. So it's the ego it creates, the system. It acts like a storm of energy and information spewing out all sorts of thoughts and ideas about this world. It can make the world around us seem chaotic, exciting, boring, or way too much to handle. Now, your mind is like an overused machine, right? And it's true. It never gets a break. And it is always very, very, very busy. All day long, it's spinning around its thoughts, chattering 1,000 miles an hour about this and that. It's as if your mind is caught in its own cranks, wheels, and gears, spinning in the same patterns for years that it once created. Kind of like that spider with the web. Now, when you're caught in this, because we all have been, and in this very now moment, people are caught in this whirling mind, these turbulent thoughts can make your life appear as if it is off course. It can feel like you are being tossed in many different directions as your mind can throw out random harsh thoughts at you. Like, hurry up, what's wrong with you? Why did you say that? What's wrong with you? You don't have any time for this. Get a life. Hurry up. And this is the mind, remember. It can be rude, mean, and make you feel inadequate. It can take you down these roads of thinking that can make you think there is no happiness inside. You ever met anybody like that? Maybe you've experienced it. And we cannot any longer live in the mind. Because living in the mind is utterly, truly, and completely exhausting. It's a good thing that there are many ways to get off. With each of these thoughts slamming into us, we may notice that we have the choice to react to them or just watch them sail by. And I will say that the majority, the vast majority of them, you just watch them sail by. You're not asking for that sailboat to come to the dock and you get in it, right? You're just watching it sail by. And there's dozens and hundreds and thousands of these thoughts. And you're just letting them, you're going, nope, 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 nope. Just let it just float on by, period. Now, by reacting to all of the crazy mind chatter, you're going to be thrown back into the tornado of life. Now, if and when you choose instead to sit back from your mind, become the observer, you will discover that you can create a comfortable distance from every thought that passes by. Now, finding this observer in you is where you become the master of the winds of your psyche. You choose to set the intention right now to recognize the personal nature of your typical storm. Now, you may notice, what are the concerns, responsibilities, and fears created by your mind? You ever done that? You ever you got these fears coming in and you go, what are these? I don't really have time for these fears. See, now you could run from it, but you say, you know what? I'm not doing about face, and just face these fears right up front. And just ask them, what are you here for? What do you really want? What do you really need? And you'll find out that every single time they just disappear. Because you've identified them. Now, there is really, because all of this is an illusion, right? There's really nothing that has to be done. You are connected with existence, and that is enough. You do not have to do anything or be someone special to continue to exist. Your mind may believe that something important needs to get done, or else you will die. Yet this is the type of fear-based thinking that creates those 300-mile-an-hour winds and a hurricane lifestyle. And the real truth is that every one of us are complete, whole, and truly perfect, exactly as we are now in this very moment. You do not have to do a thing to be perfect. We were all birthed divine. No matter what happens in the chaotic outer world, your divine inner nature will always remain untouched, undamaged, and complete. And believe it for just 24 hours and see what happens. None of us, we no longer have to suffer in this storm that we call life. You can find the oasis of calm that lies at the middle of each moment. The secret is to learn how to quiet the mind and reconnect with your divine nature, like we do in these meditations. The easiest way to do this is to remain present in the moment to what is. This can be mastered through learning meditation. The more you meditate, the more you realize that you are not your mind and that you are infinite and untouched by any winds blowing around you. And I get this a lot. I said, all right, tell me what's meditation? You practice meditation, right? You're practicing meditation. It means simply sitting in silence, watching the crazy mind chatter as it comes and goes. It is like sitting and watching the distant clouds move across a peaceful blue sky background. Your true eternal essence is the blue sky, and your thoughts are the clouds. The more you observe these thoughts without buying into them or getting caught up in them, the more you detach and find this vast, infinite stillness inside of you. And over time, you will be able to recognize the silliness of getting caught in the mind and become truly freed from its grasp. It will be a glorious day when you remain centered no matter what crazy storm is brewing around you. Now, one might say, well, I've tried meditation. It just hasn't worked for me. Well, then try a different way of meditating. This is why we meditate in an orthodox way, like the way we do. You slow down whatever action you're doing and be more present into the experience. You could do a walking meditation, eating meditation, drinking meditation, non-alcohol, of course, showering meditation, or even doing the dishes meditation. Do not give up on training your mind to find peace inside. It will be worth everything in the end. When you have become so fixated on your thoughts that slowing down doesn't work, and it's time to use stronger disciplinary measures. What I do a lot of the times is neon signs are real bright in there. I visualize this huge red and white neon stop sign. And I throw it up every single time that the mind, ego, has to pull you in to its world, which is not your world. And it's constant. It's all the time, because the ego mind is constantly throwing these random thoughts at you, which is the storm. And for some it's overwhelming because they're so intense and constant all the time, coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. And you get to the point where you get frustrated. You imagine one who is totally oblivious to any of this. They would automatically believe that this was coming at them. Something was doing it to them. See? Well, that's partially true, because we are doing it to ourselves. But in their perspective, they believe that something out there is messing with them. And that's why people say, why me? Why that? Because they don't understand the frustration of it. They don't understand that it is them doing it to themselves. There's nothing else out there. When we go into meditation, we we get into our bodies into a comfortable position, and we have no outside interruption or interference, and we're still as a statue. We relax into the body. Everything kind of just unfolds, and you lean into the body and be absorbed by the body, or you relax into the body. You focus on your breath rising and falling, just like your natural breathing. And that puts you in a state of now. And you stay in that now as often as you can. And the more you practice it, the lesser and lesser the interference of the ego mind becomes. And you notice it because there's a lifting and a lighter feeling. And when you view things, now we can get, we could be derailed at times and not even know it. But you can recouple and go back on the track in that direction, because you're not connected with this material physical world when you are in meditation. You're not. You're the God. You're the pure consciousness in meditation. This other stuff, remember, ego mind creates this stuff. When we go into these bodies, we inherit the ego mind. But do we know that? No, we don't know that. Now, see, what's a simple comparison between an ego mind and a heart mind? Well, an ego mind has to boast and brag, has to make it known how powerful they are, that they're super special, above all others, that they've been selected above all others. That is absolute ego mind. Heart mind, none of that. None of it. You can see it's a huge difference. And you can see in ego mind how we can get really twisted up, really bent, right? It's true. In the heart mind, we're at ease. We're relaxed into the body. It's like you're the master and commander of the vehicle and everything that goes with it, the ego mind, all of it. But you're not it. You're behind the wheel directing. Now imagine when we aren't aware of many things, and here we are directing these vessels, and we don't even know who and what we are. And literally ensnared in the web of the ego mind. And we find that when we let go, right, when we truly let go, because we know when we say we let go, we didn't let go. But there are times when we really truly let go, we feel a complete release, a relaxed feeling, a lighthearted feeling. You say to yourself, well, I'm glad that's over. Or I'm glad I decided not to interact with that anymore. It's a done deal. It's over. Is it true, isn't it? You can see how imperative it is for us to focus on the heart mind. To focus not on the body, not on the material physical, but to focus on the gods that we are in pure consciousness, supreme, omnipotently powerful beings that never die, that are in these bodies. And that we move the energy. Okay? When your thoughts are pure intent and you don't have interference of the ego mind, you move the energy. You create the energy into your life that you want. Knowingly. And the universe will kind of add even more to it in a positive way. So in a quiet time of this meditation, focus on who and what you truly are. Focus on you, the God, you, the pure consciousness. And that you're the one literally guiding the whole thing. You're behind the scenes. You're orchestrating it all. And we eventually will learn, we'll be cognizant of that fact every split second. That we're driving, we're behind the scenes, orchestrating everything. Joining the meditation, I'll return to close this out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body, focused on your breath, rising and falling. Be honest, radically honest. If you really want to start manifesting everything your heart desires instantly and effortlessly, then start speaking the truth and only the truth. This sacred secret is ancient. Once you are committed to it, everything will magically transform in your life. The golden key is to continuously reveal your deepest truth to others, no matter what. Now, to many I know it sounds super scary. Yet, try it out for a few hours. You just might notice how expansive, bubbly, and free you feel. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night and the following morning. We'll return here Wednesday, November 27, 2024, a little 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call, and after 9:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our time for change call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest the purest purest, eternal gratitudes at all time. No matter what's going on out there or in here. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.